The following program contains shockingly brilliant insights. If you suffer from a lack of dark sunglasses, Randall may not be right for you. Check with your optometrist.
Obamacare is on life support, and the president is blaming Republicans for trying to assassinate his beloved healthcare program. Kathleen Sebelius watches in real time as the site crashes and praises the number of people who have in fact signed up in South Florida. And the government is offering a $7 billion contract to private sector companies to figure out a way to save money on a program that doesn't work. I love this country. Yes, you love to?
Standing for truth in the four corners of America. Fighting for justice on the frontiers of the culture wars. And turning resistance into an art form. Randall Terry.
Welcome to the program, friend. We are broadcasting from Memphis, Tennessee in our temporary studios. We're here because my second-born son, Michael Winston Theodore Terry, is battling cancer. We have relocated here so that he could be treated at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I beg you for prayers for my son, for our son, and that God will spare his life and give him a long and normal life. Please pray for our baby boy, Michael. All right, when we were at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore before we moved here to Memphis to be treated, the folks at Johns Hopkins were really putting pressure on us to get Obamacare. They knew that we were self-pay, that we did not have the money for what could be easily $750,000 or $1 million bill or more. And it was nothing to them to just say, sign up for Obamacare. And I looked at the lady who was a big shot there in their economic food chain, and I said, we're not going to do it. We are not going to try and compel our neighbors with force to pay for our son's health care. We all have decisions that we have to make in life, and some of them come from conviction. Some of them come from necessity. Let's switch gears to the Republican Party for a minute and talk about conviction versus necessity, because Obama is trying to blame the Republicans for the failure of Obamacare. Now, the Republicans did not vote for Obamacare. This was a completely Democratic deal, all right? The Democratic Party brought this to us. Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, Barack Hussein Obama. This was their baby. So how could the president possibly blame Republicans for the failure of the rollout, for the fact that over 5 million people have had their insurance canceled, for the fact that around 500,000 people have signed up, for the fact that in some states, in the first month, we were in single or double digits, 8 people, 25 people who were signing up. How can the president possibly blame the Republican machine in Washington for the abject failure of this program? It's absurd. And yet that is exactly what the president is doing right now. This is like brothers quarreling and one of the boys did something really bad and mom and dad are bearing in on him, because after all, this is our government. We're bearing in on Obama, and Obama saying, it's not my fault. It's the fault of those bad Republicans. They made me introduce a hellacious product. They made me roll out a website before it wasn't ready. They made the insurance companies send out the cancellation notices. They made the companies that have more than 50 full-time employees lower their number of employees so that they could avoid Obamacare. It's their fault. Mr. President, this is your legacy. Welcome to your page in history. And as the history books record, Obamacare. Oh, let's not call it the Affordable Health Care Act. Let's call it Obamacare. As the history books record the abject failure of Obamacare, Mr. President, you can ride off into the sunset on the pale horse of death that is shown in the book of Revelation. Like a wraith from Lord of the Rings, you can own this debacle. Don't blame the Republicans. Own it. Embrace it. Say, this is who I am. This is what I have created. I have taken over most of America's health care, and I have destroyed families in the process. Long live Obamacare. Where's Karl Marx when I need to praise him? Can anyone bring him back from the dead? Do we do that? Every day in America, over 3,500 babies are torn apart by abortion. Shouldn't all babies, like this living, unborn child, have the right to life? Baby killing will only end when Americans see the truth of what abortion does to innocent children. You can help end this Holocaust by showing the truth of abortion in your area with a Face the Truth tour. Go to facethetruthamerica.com to set up a Face the Truth tour in your area. The babies and their mothers will be eternally grateful. How would you like to be able to reach hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of potential customers with your product or your company or your web-based business? Well, you can do that right here on this show. Every single day, we get phone calls or letters or orders online from states all over the country where people are watching this television show. Right now, we are seen in 45 cities at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time every night, and then a rerun again at 12:30 midnight. You can reach them using this show at advertising rates that are so inexpensive, it would blow your mind. So, if you're interested, contact us at the phone number that you see on the screen or the email address, and we can talk about how you can grow your business and help support this show. Seven percent of Americans feel that Obamacare is working just fine the way it is and should not be changed. Who are these people? Who are they? I mean, we're trying to figure out, are they lobotomized? Are they completely oblivious? They just are sitting in front of a Nintendo game and they don't know what's going on? Or is it possible that it's really crafty Republicans who have, of course, tried to destroy Obamacare, who are saying, it's perfect, leave it just the way it is, because it's going to die if we leave it exactly as it is. I don't know. Anyway, according to a story that's floating around out there on the internet, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but it could be, 34 times more Americans have applied for a gun permit than have applied for Obamacare. Now, of course, that begs the question, are they applying for a gun permit because of Obamacare? All right, that was my one-liner. I had to use it. I know that it wasn't as funny as it seemed when we were prepping for the show. All right, Kathleen Sebelius, did you hear about this? Did you see any of the footage? Because it was actually funny. She's in Florida pitching Obamacare, trying to get people enthused, getting them to sign up. And they've set this photo op up inside of a lobby of a hospital. And there's a lady trying to sign up. Cameras are everywhere. And on 3 separate occasions, the lady tries to sign up and the system keeps crashing. And then the lady says, oh, that happens all the time. She still hasn't been able to do it. So the Obama people had the guts or the idiocy, or both, to try and do a live sign up with this computer program, knowing that it still doesn't work. And part of Kathleen Sebelius's parting glory was that she said that she knew while she was down there in South Florida that not one, but 2 people had successfully signed up. 2. 2. Not 2,000, not 200,000, not 200. 2. 2 people signed up. This is a glorious success. There was something else about her that, she said, this was actually funny. One of the cameramen there said, what have you learned since you've been here? And she said, and I quote, they are frustrated with the web experience they had, but they are eager to get coverage that they are going to return. And so they're going to return to the website over and over again. We've got a website that doesn't work, but we've got a great product. And people are frustrated. That's what I've learned. And he said there's a lot of people that have had it. I've had it. I'm not coming back. And she said, we know we're going to have to work really hard to get you to come back. This is like a Toyota Camry whose gas pedal sticks and makes you drive through intersections and have fatal accidents. We know that people are frustrated with the Toyota Camry, but we're going to work harder than ever to get you to come back. And she sounds like a salesman, a used car salesman, or a new car salesman for that matter. All right, and last but not least, the government is now offering a contract for $7 billion. I'm not making this up. It's an open-ended contract, and so the duration of it is what is being bid on, and what services are going to be offered by a private company. That's what's being bid upon right now. But it's a $7 billion contract to find ways to save money in Obamacare. In other words, the federal government started to say, oh my goodness, we're now going to have to manage healthcare costs. Remember the years ago when we had the $600 toilet seat and the $100 hammer that was uncovered, the corruption that was uncovered during the Reagan administration? So now what do we have? The $20 nose swab, the $3.50 plastic glove. Come here, it's time for your checkup. This glove normally costs 10 cents at a Rite Aid, but for you today it's $37. Bend over and smile. Do you want to have knowledge, wisdom, discernment? If so, you have to read good books on theology, history, books that look at the lives of great men and women. So to help you to become a more effective Christian, a better witness for truth, somebody who can engage in productive conversation that exhorts and edifies those that you speak with, we're going to do something crazy. We're offering you these 7 books for a gift of any size. You just pay for the shipping and handling, and then give whatever gift that you can, and we will send them to you. But just to make it a little bit more crazy, I will send you a second copy of my 3 books, autographed. You can give them as a gift to your pastor or to a family member and help extend truth and justice in the world. This is while supplies last. We're broadcasting live on tape. Okay, I do not normally watch TV. My mom is visiting, helping us watch the children while we get stable and figure out hospital issues with our son. And she watches Fox News a lot. So I walk through the room and I see this panel with Juan Williams and Judge Napolitano and a couple other people, and they're discussing how do we save Obamacare. And to my delight, Judge Napolitano says with utter complete clarity, without equivocation, without apology, not just end Obamacare, end Social Security, end Medicare, end Medicaid. All of it. Completely, utterly, totally dismantle the federal government's involvement as being our caregiver from cradle to grave. The host about had a meltdown, which was funny. Juan Williams, I thought, was going to become apoplectic. I mean, you have to love a good socialist when you see them. At least they're consistent. It's been so long since I've seen somebody have the courage and the clarity to simply say the truth, that these government programs are unconstitutional, and I will add that they're immoral. because they put a gun to your head and force you to pay for your neighbor's health care or whatever else it is that they want. I want to talk for just a minute about the genius of the Obama administration regarding his ability to recruit people to become socialists. He has been on a recruitment campaign that has successfully turned millions of Americans into socialists, and dare I say it, pickpockets, reaching into their neighbor's pocket to take some of this. Do you know what I'm talking about? The people using food stamps has about doubled. About doubled. Over 100 million people at this point are getting some type of government assistance regarding food stamps. But it was also insidious at this level. After Obama took office, when we were in the middle of the real estate meltdown, we had people that were in a crisis with their mortgage. I was among them. We lost our home. We had a home in Florida. We lost it. Okay? A bitter pill, I promise you. But there were a lot of people who Obama said, wait, we'll use your neighbor's money to pay for your mortgage. Or when they decided they were going to bail out the auto industry and they had that $4,000 cash for clunker deal. Remember that? You had a lot of people who had never before taken a dime from the government, but they rolled right on up to their Chevy dealer or whoever and did the cash for clunker deal, took their neighbor's money to buy their car. And this was, and if, by the way, if you were among those people who took the government's money to get your mortgage manageable or took your neighbor's money to get a new car, one of our writers pointed out to me that there's a difference between going to a government office and getting the debit card where you've got to interface with a government bureaucrat. There's a difference between that and going to your car dealership or to your bank where the government employee isn't sitting there in front of you taking your application. All right? The government at that point is the man behind the curtain. So there's a numbing that goes on. If you don't really think about it, hey, all I know is that I can take my $200 junker in and I can get $4,000 credit against a new car. All I know is that I'm having trouble with my mortgage and the banker said to me, hey, look, there's a program where you can come and we'll refi your mortgage and we'll make this all work. But the source is still the same. It's our neighbor's money. And what Obama did is he has recruited millions of people at one level or another to be on the federal plantation as takers. And so he is ensuring that unless we wake up and repent and reject this, he's ensuring that there are millions of people who in every election cycle are going to vote for who gives them the most of their neighbor's money. And it's so much more efficient to have the government take it from your neighbor than for you to actually have to go and, hey, look the other way. I didn't steal it. I didn't steal it. Do you want to get America out of the hands of wicked and unjust men and women who are destroying the republic before our eyes and put leadership back into the hands of righteous men and women so that we don't die as a nation? Well, you're talking about social revolution, and there are rules in social revolution. We can look at the victorious social revolutions of the past, such as the end of slavery, the end of child labor, women's voting rights, the end of segregation, and so much more, and learn from their victories. Look at their actions, their images, their rhetoric, their sacrifices, and their final fruit. We will send you this series that originally cost $129, 7 books for students, 1 teacher's guide, if you'll give a gift of any size and just pay for shipping and handling. Take advantage of it today. Welcome back. We have been talking off the air during the commercial break about the appropriateness of using ourselves as examples as we talk about socialism, charity, Christian kindness, giving to the poor. You know, Jesus said, if you do it to the least of my brethren, you do it to me. So Jesus said, I was hungry and you fed me. Right? So clearly, it's important to the Lord. And when we see in Matthew chapter 25, Christ outlining the day of judgment, the picture, the image of the day of judgment, some people are going to heaven, some people are going to hell based upon what they did to Christ and to the least of his brethren. You know, I was in prison, you didn't see me. I was hungry, you didn't feed me. I was naked, you didn't clothe me. Go to hell. I'm not trying to make too big a joke out of that, but our son is being treated at St. Jude's Research Children's Hospital, and they told us when we went there, you will not see a bill from us. They do take insurance money, they do deal with third parties, but they do not turn children away. That is true Christian charity. Okay? This ministry, this TV show, our pro-life activism, my run for president where we showed the ads on TV all over the country. All of these things have happened. My leading Operation Rescue, the Society for Truth and Justice, all of it happens because of contributions. Whether I go to a church and speak and they take up a love offering, or people send money to us in the mail, or they go and contribute online. So you better believe I believe in charity. And I believe in charity on the giving end as well. If a family member has a difficulty, maybe help pitch in and buy them a car. Or I can almost never pass somebody who's asking for money on the street. Once in a while I do, but usually if we pass someone on the street, or those people when you're driving your car and they're waiting at the stoplight, if I've got some money, we'll give them some money. Because I believe in kindness. I believe in human charity. And the scripture says, be careful to entertain strangers, because some people in doing so have entertained angels unaware. And I know that we, as a ministry, and my family would simply not have been able to exist and function and do the things that we have done for a good number of years now if it wasn't for Christian charity. Off camera we were talking, and one of the staff said, you know, it's funny, the panhandlers bother me, but it doesn't bother me so much that the government is stealing my money to give away to people. And I said, it's a conversion. It takes time to think through it all. And I'm simply saying that we have to assess and reassess and look at our heart, look at the scriptures, look at church history, look at the history of healthcare and the role that the church played in it, the foundational role that the church has played in healthcare. And then we need to look at the history and the ideology of Marxism and socialism. And then we have to decide, not on matters of whether or not we believe that Jesus is the Son of God, all right? Let's assume that we're a Christian at that level. But we have to decide if there is such a thing as Christian charity, and if so, what does it look like? What is the theology? What are the principles? What are the rules that God has laid down? Has he laid any down? And if so, what are they? And if it turns out that Karl Marx was wrong and Moses was right, then we have to try and link our minds and our behavior up with Moses and with Jesus, not with Karl Marx and Barack Hussein Obama.